we go into Thursday. Super Bowl getting close. This is The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, we are live in Los Angeles. iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and right here in FS1. Game's getting close. Got my pick tomorrow. We'll unveil the pick today. I got Greg Olson. I got Russell Wilson. I got Darius Leonard on the show today. Joy Taylor is joining me on a Thursday. We're getting very, 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 very close. Very close.
Oh, so close.
Very close.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Greg Olson later this hour. Russell Wilson top of next hour. Even industry leaders have off years. Now, let's say Apple. You're battling Apple in the tech sector. And Apple comes out with an iPhone, and it's got a bunch of glitches. Apple is vulnerable. This is time for Apple's rivals to take advantage. Let's say you're an automaker, and you're battling a Ford or a Chevy or a GM, one of these great companies, and they have a major recall. They have a brake pad issue. They are vulnerable. You're the number 2 sales guy in your workforce, and the number 1 sales guy is going through a divorce. He got a DUI. He's vulnerable. He's wobbling. This is your year. Even industry leaders are vulnerable, have off years, have controversies in every business, even football. I know you hate the Patriots. I don't, but I know most of you do. I just want you to realize this was the year to knock them off. Okay, they finally had a controversy. Okay, they haven't had a controversy like this in 18 years. They finally had one. Belichick, Brady, first big argument. He slept on the couch. Their number 1 draft pick at the number 1 need on the team, left tackle, got hurt. The guy protecting Tom Brady, the rookie from Georgia, got hurt, never played. Major issue. They had to scramble, make a trade with the 49ers. The veterans, many of them, important veterans, Danny Amendola, Deion Lewis, Malcolm Butler, they all left at once in free agency. Whoa, these were good players. And they all left. Julian Edelman was suspended for 4 games. He was out for all of September and coming off an ACL. We just didn't know how good he was going to be. You had the Josh Gordon distraction. That was just a mess that really, the Pittsburgh game, you were like, what's wrong with New England? I mean, it literally disrupted a game for them. And then, a week ago, you had to play a road playoff game. Talk about an obstacle. I mean, this was the year to beat them. Tom Brady talked about this the other day. This has been roadblock after roadblock.
It's never linear. I mean, I guess you have a few years in there, and I can think of a few in our team history that just kind of went like, obviously, the 07 team. And 2010, I thought we had a great team. We lost to the Jets in the playoffs. And there's some other years that are just, you gotta fight and claw. 2001 was like that. This year has been like that.
But here's the problem for the rest of the NFL. None of those problems, the controversy, the number 1 draft pick that didn't play, the veterans that all left in free agency, Edelman being suspended for September, the Josh Gordon mess, having to play a road game in the playoffs against the MVP quarterback, they probably don't face any of those next year. My guess is they're not going to have their second big distraction, their second big Brady-Belichick beef. They've got 12 draft picks. Really 14 if you count the 2 picks last year that won starting jobs and got hurt. There's no big free agent losses looming other than maybe Trey Flowers, and I think they pay for him. Gronk is leaving, said as much yesterday. That'll free up cap space. And the Jets and the Dolphins have new head coaches, translation, new systems. That takes a little bit. So that probably takes those teams to October, early November. New coach, new system, new offense, new defense to kind of be upright and formidable. Folks, this was the year. And they're in the Super Bowl, and they're favored by a field goal, and even the sharps in Vegas, all 9 of the biggest bets are on New England. If Apple comes out with a glitch in their iPhone, or a major automaker has a brake pad issue and has to do a recall, or the number one salesperson is going through a divorce, industry leaders are all at some point vulnerable. You better take advantage. And this year, the Rams are the last chance to take advantage of a vulnerable dynasty, the longest in NFL history. All right, let me shift to this. Anthony Davis. Lakers, LeBron. It's going to happen, right? We're just not sure when. Well, according to reports, the Pelicans general manager, Dell Demps, is not picking up the phone. He is so mad, he is not picking up the phone. In fact, according to Mark Stein, New York Times, if no trade materializes between now and the February 7th deadline, they may just shelve Anthony Davis and not play him for the rest of the year. Oh, boy. There are several stages of divorce. There's the yelling and screaming stage. There's the bitterness stage. There's the simmering stage. And then there's the acceptance stage. They are clearly in the bitterness stage. The general manager will not pick up the phone. They're thinking if a trade doesn't get done, they're not even going to play Anthony Davis. They're not even to the simmering stage yet. They're in the bitter stage. Maybe no yelling and screaming, but they're in the bitterness stage. Pelican fans never forget this. NBA already bailed you out once. Chris Paul deal. Okay, remember that. And you have to remember this for people in New Orleans. In every league, college or pro, there are destinations with historic advantages. LSU football will forever be more attractive place than Missouri football or Kentucky football or Vanderbilt football. Forever. 100 years from now, LSU will be a cooler place to play college football than Missouri, than Mississippi State. I'm not saying those programs aren't good, but it'll always be cooler. By the way, in the NFL, Green Bay and Buffalo will never be top free agent markets. One's been to 4 Super Bowls, lost all of them, but got to 4, and Green Bay won it with Favre, they won it with Bart Starr, and they won it with Aaron Rodgers. They've had to overcome that. New Orleans is never going to be a free agent destination. Either was Cleveland until a kid named LeBron was born in Akron. Either was Orlando, and they got to 2 finals. There are certain absolute truths in college sports. Kentucky basketball is always going to matter more than Oregon State basketball, forever. Alabama football is always going to mean more than Kentucky football, forever. And there are certain markets in the NBA. Sacramento is never going to be a glamour market. New Orleans, Orlando are never going to be a glamour market. But look on the bright side. Anthony Davis gave you a heads up. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to stay here. By the way, the next guy you draft, if he's as good as Anthony Davis, you'll get about 6 years with him, and then he'll also decide, yeah, I'm not going to stay here. You got 6 years with him. Now he's giving you a heads up. So go get 3 or 4 players, 2 or 3 draft picks, reboot. Just because a star leaves, what did you lose in this whole deal? You had him for 6 years. You were 1-8 against the Warriors in the playoffs. You weren't doing anything with him. By the way, the Washington Wizards star got hurt, John Wall. They're better without him. You seen the record last 2 years when he gets hurt? The Boston Celtics got to the Eastern Conference Finals Game 7. This year they got their stars back. Gordon Hayward's clogged everything up. They were better last year. By the way, the Indiana Pacers, Paul George says, I'm out of here. He gave him a heads up. The Pacers front office, Kevin Pritchard did a great job. They're better without Paul George. You just have to come to the realization there are certain truths in sports. The Oakland A's have won a lot of games. It's not where free agents go. The San Antonio Spurs, it's not where free agents go. Doesn't mean he can't win. Green Bay Packers in Buffalo, they've been to, between the two of them, 10 Super Bowls? Free agents don't want to go there. There's different ways to win in sports. Anthony Davis is never going to be built for 14 years in New Orleans. If you get a guy like Anthony Davis, you're going to get him for his first contract. The way the NBA contracts work, you'll get him for a second, but he's not signing a third there. And you got in Cleveland, you got LeBron for a contract, and then a second contract, and then he went to Miami. You didn't get a third straight contract out, and when he came back, he did 1-year deals. You can get stars in those markets. You're not getting a third contract out of them. You get their rookie deal, Then they re-sign to make the first big money of their life, and then they're generally gone. Okay, so you have your 6 years if you're Cleveland with LeBron. You couldn't do anything. You've had your 6 years with Anthony Davis. Drew Holiday's your next best player. Couldn't do anything. But this is not even. The Yankees are a glamour market. The Red Sox are a glamour market. Okay? LSU football is a glamour program. Texas football is a glamour program. But right now, in the divorce stage, the Pelicans are in the bitterness stage. And I would strongly recommend you get to the simmering stage and you get to the acceptance stage, because you better pick up the phone, get 3 players, maybe 4, get several draft picks, reboot. It's been proven time and time again. The way you're going to get stars is draft them. You'll get them for 6 years, but you're not getting them for a 3rd contract. Lakers will keep theirs. Yankees can keep theirs. Red Sox can keep theirs. LSU football will keep the best high school players in their state. Just the way the game works. No reason to pout about it. Good show today. Coming up next, Jerry Jones is actually hovering over this Super Bowl and deserves a ton of credit. Yes, Jerry Jones, owner of the Cowboys. That's coming up. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. It's right around the corner. Very exciting. What are you going to do? How about this? Sherry's Berries. These are unbelievable. This is a product my wife gets